Scheduled for 3 rounds at a catchweight of 165 pounds with your referee, Brian Beauchamp. And now introducing the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks trimmed in black. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, he weighed in at 164.6 pounds. He's a legendary street fighter representing Trillium MMA. He is undefeated in the streets at a record of 12-0. Fighting out of and representing Toronto, Ontario, ladies and gentlemen, here is Mazen Speed of Light Merhi. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed in white. Standing 6 feet tall, he weighed in at 164.6 pounds. He's a freestyle mixed martial artist representing Hayabusa Academy. He comes to the cage with an even record of 1 win and 1 loss. Fighting out of and representing Kingston, Ontario, ladies and gentlemen, here is Chase Stevenson. Referee Brian Beauchamp with final fight instruction.
Gentlemen, what my instructions in the back room. We're a clean, fair fight. If you want to touch gloves, do that now. Go back to your corner if you're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, this BTC amateur catchweight matchup will be decided in 3 rounds or less.
Brian Beauchamp, the third and final man inside the cage, and we are underway with our 3rd amateur MMA bout. Ooh, Merhi, good right hand, but caught it. And now Stevenson's got Merhi up against the fence.
Let's see what. Oh.
Good job to switch to take the back there by Merhi.
He's gonna sketch. He's gonna get this. Yep. Nice pull off the cage from that single leg. But here's Chase was saying he wants to showcase his good grapple off his back.
Yeah.
His triangle is his go-to. And you can see him already throwing up and threatening here. So Mazen's got to be careful. Got to keep his hands off the mat.
Well, I mean, what a better way for you to celebrate your birthday than hitting your specialty submission. But good job of getting just right into half guard there was Merhi. Trying to go to rubber guard again here is Stevenson.
Yeah, you can tell he's got that body for it. He's very long, lanky limbs, so very good for the rubber guard and jiu-jitsu. Mazen did a good job of pushing him to the cage here, and he's doing a good job of keeping a good posture. Right, he's staying here, right in the center line.
And trying to stack up here is Merhi. Now
Nice.
trying to pass. Good job. And
No.
takes the back. Nicely there, does Merhi.
A nice pass there from Mazen.
Shots to the body there by Merhi.
Oh,
Trying to look for that rear
he's
naked
got
choke.
that choke.
Oh, that may be in. We'll see.
Oh, he lost it
No,
now.
he lost the angle.
Chase has to use this left underhook here. He has it here. He's got to start using it to try to stand up and look to turn in. He's going to watch the threat in the guillotine here.
Yeah, good job to transition right to a guillotine there was Merhi.
Chase has to fight the hands. It's hard to see if he's doing so here. But oh, he did.
Great job to fight the hands and get the tables turned there was Chase Stevenson.
He's going to get this double. His hands are clasped. He's going to pull them off. There it is.
And Stevenson gets the takedown.
So we'll see what Merhi can do here from off his butt. On off his back.
Well, we've seen him off his back in the early portions of this round and was able to turn the tables himself, but now with some time gone, some energy spent, looking for that Darce here is Stevenson.
Yeah, he's got that in through here. All right, he's got to be careful, but stepping around,
Didn't
got
have
a little too reckless there.
Trying to just stack it up once again there was Merhi. 10-second clapper as they're right in front of us here.
Chase going that schoolyard bully headlock, but it worked for a second. Oh, now Merhi back.
And there goes the horn to end round number 1. A very entertaining jiu-jitsu grappling round from both Merhi and Stevenson.
Back and forth. Both guys had some good moments in there.
Yeah, some real good moments. Good start there by Stevenson. Got the fight to the ground, but Merhi really imposed his will from that point on up until Stevenson was able to showcase his ability to get out of some dangerous positions and nearly had a Darce choke to close out the first round.
I'd be telling both guys, once they get in that, the predominant position, especially when they pass guards, to solidify it, take your time. Stop jumping right to submissions without securing them. That's when you get those scrambles, and that's where you see a lot in amateur MMA, right? A lot of guys just trying to jump for that too soon. And
right, it's that position before submission.
Exactly.
That's exactly, but that's what this is for. You're learning here. You got to learn that, and the best way to learn that is in fight experience.
Absolutely.
So round 2 is just about to get underway. For the judges, that's a tough round to score too.
Is. Ooh, both guys just missing right hands.
Good front kick that time by Stevenson. And a question mark kick from Stevenson.
Nice double leg.
Merhi will shoot in and get the takedown.
Nice double leg from Merhi.
An authoritative takedown, and then just right into half guard again.
And then full guard now, high guard. Chase again, threatening this. He's back, trying to switch to rubber. One thing I like about Chase, he doesn't settle on his back right away. He's being threatening.
And maybe that just comes from loving, working on those triangle chokes where you got to be active off your back. And that's a good point to have in your mind. And Stevenson, as we said, Josh, one of those guys that just started really trying MMA in 2020, which of course was the year of the pandemic. So an interesting time to get involved in MMA, especially here in Ontario where you couldn't really do any training.
We had to do those, secret underground training sessions. But yeah, Mazen here in a good spot. He passed the full guard. He's in about quarter guard here. Now back to half guard.
Working to try to, just lean on, put his weight here is Merhi on Stevenson.
And this is kind of like what we were talking about in between rounds. Once you get a dominant position, kind of settle to him. Make your opponent make a mistake, and then capitalize on that instead of having to jump and rush and make a mistake of your own.
Absolutely. Plus, Stevenson probably feels the pressure a little bit more with, the 3-minute rounds, less time to really try to work off his back.
Yeah.
And Merhi can kind of, obviously you want to be active and looking for a submission, but you can stick in this position for a little bit.
Yep.
And just, pile up around.
The onus is on your opponent on the bottom.
Yep.
Try to make something happen, try to create some space and some scrambles or threaten a submission. But I would like to see Mazen just posture up a little bit here. Give him some more of a damage from the top position.
Yeah, I thought Brian Beauchamp was going to get a separation. No, we'll stay active, and Brian Beauchamp's going to let you obviously keep working. He's a very, very talented and black belt in his own right. Just tying up Stevenson here is Merhi, working in side control. Trying to get Stevenson away from the fence so he has more space to work.
Yeah, keeping him in the center of the cage, takes away that ability to use that cage to wall walk. Now he's got like a head and arm kind of front headlock position here, and this is where he's probably going to end the round.
10-second clapper has gone. And there goes the horn to end the second round. A very good round for Mazen Merhi.
Yeah. That was much more solidified grappling session and top heavy game there from Mazen.
Yeah, it was impressive too because Stevenson, he wanted to start that second round up more on the feet, and just a great explosion on the double leg takedown from Merhi, and that's where he took control from the round after that. So if you're in Chase Stevenson's corner right now, Josh, what are you saying to Chase to try to take this third round?
I'm saying I can see his coach already kind of flashing it already, saying he's going to look to take this fight again to the ground, keep your distance, and start flashing things up the middle, right? I know they can't knee to the head yet as an amateur, so you're kind of limited there, but uppercuts up the middle, stepping back, You know, stepping offline. Don't just go straight backwards to the cage. Things like that. And use his length. He's very long. Use those long limbs to try and catch Mazen as he tries to close the distance.
Yeah, because obviously with the second round we just agreed Merhi won. That first round was close.
It was close.
You don't know how the judges were going to score that.
Absolutely.
So if Stevenson can control this third round, he could have the opportunity of winning this one on the scorecards. But here we go, third and final round, and it's Merhi that just comes out like he shot out of a cannon, getting Stevenson right down to the ground.
Yeah, you knew what, you felt what worked in the second round for him. He's going right back to that. And smart tactic.
If it's not broken, don't fix it, as that's what Merhi will do.
Good job there to wrestle Stevenson down to the mat. So now the onus on Stevenson. Stevenson's got to really just try and open up. I know it's much easier said than done when you got somebody on top of you, especially when they're, you know, top heavy game. But he's got to try and make some magic happen off his back here.
Trying to look for that triangle maybe, but doesn't really have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to do something here to be active and push forward while you're on your bottom.
Now he's got rubber guard here. He's going to look to try and put his foot on the opposite side underneath the chin of Mazen. Here he's just controlling. In this position here, he's just not taking any damage. You let it go now.
Yeah, taking his time, just working. Here is Matt and Merhi, and you know, Merhi, this is just once again fine. He can control this round. Time is starting to be the enemy here for Chase Stevenson.
Yeah, and that's where the 3-minute rounds are his enemy, right? Like you just said, like he needs a little bit more time to work there. Now he's in half guard. I like to see Mazen keep looking to pass. Oh, there he goes there. Maybe try and get that side control or even full mount. But some guys like to sit here, and they sit here in this half guard position, just pound away, and they feel more comfortable there.
Well, comfort is going to be king right now here for Merhi, who's just content trying to get to full mount.
There he goes. He's passing. He's going to look to knee cut right through there. And he did. Now he's in full mount position.
He had to pull up too, did Merhi. Can't do the ground and pound under these amateur rule sets.
And that makes a big difference too, right? It's much more grappling based instead of, you know, being able to punch your way into position.
Still working here out on the side, trying to maybe just find an opening, and more so just tire out Chase Stevenson here as Merhi.
Yeah, Merhi's doing a good job of just staying tight and kind of just slowly chipping away and giving nice shoulder pressure. You see the left shoulder of Merhi driving into the chin of Chase, keeping him flat on the mat.
Yeah, there's those shots to the ribs, the ground and pound you can do to the body.
Here's the 10-second clapper.
Maybe trying a flurry of a finish attempt here from his back is Stevenson. But we get up. Oh, swing and a miss that time for Merhi, but the horn goes to end a very impressive showing here from Mazen Merhi.
Yep. Very good top control. Good job of controlling your opponent. Not getting caught in any real threats. In the first round, he had to deal with a little bit of adversity there from Stevenson when he's on his back, but he kind of dialed in the second and third round there and just kind of grinded him out and chipped away.
Well, the one thing Mazen Merhi told us in our pre-fight interviews, felt he had the better jiu-jitsu over Chase Stevenson, and he lived up to that statement here tonight.
Yeah, I think 100% he had the better, like, wrestling grappling-esque, you know, the MMA type grappling, where you get top position and kind of punish your opponent, be one step ahead. You can tell Chase Stevenson has that, you know, very durable, flexible guard off of his back. You know, he's trying a lot of rubber guard tonight.
He's trying to be active, but it's just after a while, like, to being a young fighter, that starts to break your confidence down when you 100%. Can't get anything set up. Yeah. And looks like this one's going to be made official here as the scorecards are still being tabulated. Ryan Beauchamp.
You can see that Merhi looked like the stronger of the two fighters on the ground too, right? Being the shorter one, it makes sense. A little bit more muscle on him.
I think that double leg takedown he landed too in the second round really just changed the outlook of the fight for Chase Stevenson. It looks like the scorecards have been tabulated, and we are set to make this one official with Mr. Throwdown, Pete Trevino.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, for both of the fighters in the center of the cage. After 3 rounds of amateur mixed martial arts, we read the judges' scorecards. Judge Chirico, Judge Woods, and Judge Hanif, all 3 see this matchup 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Mazen Speed of Light Merhi.
Well, Mazen Merhi picks up a victory, not at the speed of light, but a unanimous decision victory, 30-27s across the board, and a real strong showing there for Merhi to get his first win in the amateur.